Paul says, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. He says, be ye angry, and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Let no corrupt communication come or proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. For just a few moments with your prayers this morning, and I need your prayers as the Holy Spirit shall guide us. Encourage your neighbor and tell them, get your mind right. I want to continue this conversation from Thursday night by reminding you of the fact that your mind is a spiritual battleground. Tragically, there are those who believe that Christians are somehow exempt from satanic influences. But I'm here to tell you that even the most spiritual people can be and will be attacked by the devil. Again, I say, no matter how spiritual you are, no matter how many verses you have memorized, no matter how many church protocols you have internalized, the truth remains that even the most spiritual of people is prone to satanic suggestion. I'm a witness. You can be saved, you can be sanctified, you can be filled with the Holy Spirit, but the fact that you are on your way to heaven doesn't mean you won't get emails from hell. I wish I had some help in here. Your life literally is a war zone. And many of you this morning have the scars to prove it. Wonder how many people in here know about spiritual warfare. I got the scars to prove it. I ain't talking about what church folks said. I ain't talking about what mama and them said. I ain't talking about what the old preacher said. I got the scars to prove that spiritual warfare is real. And if I pass this mic around and let some of y'all tell it, many of you would testify that the attacks have been more mental than physical. Have I got a witness here? In other words, you don't look like, what you've been through, because you got so many options in the closet to cover it up. You don't look like the mental strain that you've had to endure just this year alone. But if you knew some of the stuff that I've been through, if you knew some of what your neighbor had to deal with, if you knew some of what was going on in the mind of the people on your road, you would wonder how some of us are standing here today. I'm telling you, there's something about the mind. I'm talking about the crazy stuff that happens in your mind, the foolish thoughts that occur in your mind, the wicked imaginations that your mind can come up with, the shameful lust that arise in your mind, the evil plots that happen in the mind. People trip over some of the stuff you've said and done. They have no idea the stuff you thought about. I wish I had a witness in there. You think it's strange, some of the stuff your family members say. You better thank God you don't know half of what they were thinking about. If anybody here can be honest this morning and admit there's some stuff on my mind. Even right now, there's some stuff weighing on my mind. This battle is not just physical. The battle is in my mind. I'm talking about your mind, if you will, the very epicenter of your emotions. If you will, it's the hub of your heart's desire. And if your mind is the place where decisions are made, that's the first line of attack of the devil, because your mind controls your members. I'll say it again. I said your mind controls your members. Your hands only do what your mind tells them to do. Your feet only go where your mind makes up its mind to go. Have I got a witness here? Your mouth only says what your mind concocts. And you got to understand that the devil attacks your mind first, because where your mind goes, your members follow. I shouldn't have to spend too much energy to convince you of the fact that before you sinned, you thought about it. Yeah, but before you said it, you thought about it. Before you went there, you planned it, you thought about it. It all begins in the mind. I won't take up very much of your time this morning, but I'm going to give it all I got with this one here. Let me reiterate what Paul says to the folks at Ephesus. He says that we should henceforth walk not as other Gentiles. It's right there in the text, somewhere around verse number 17. He said, walk not as other Gentiles, those that walk in the vanity of their mind. In other words, these were people that once walked in darkness. They walked in the vanity of their mind. But even now, as people of faith, they had to be admonished not to revert back to their old ways. Let me warn you. Don't ever get so comfortable in your new life. I wish I had some help here. Don't ever get so comfortable in your new skin that you dismiss the possibility of the old you creeping back. I'm only talking to the honest church folk this morning. I'm talking to the folk. I know I'm saved. I know I've been to church. I know I've been baptized. I know I got the Spirit of the Lord living inside of me. But don't ever get so comfortable in your Holy Spiritedness that you forget about the fact that the old you will creep back. He says, don't walk like they do, according to the imaginations, the blindness, if you will, that's in their mind. Because listen, your connection determines your direction. I'm going to help you. It's about mental separation. It's about spiritual separation. Your connection determines your direction. And when he looked at those other Gentiles that he was warning them against, it was obvious that they were walking in the vanity of their minds. Listen, brothers and sisters, if there's one thing I've learned in my Christian experience, it is the fact that there's got to be something in you in order to fight what's around you. I wish I had 5 or 6 more witnesses right up in there. I said there's got to be something in you that helps counteract or combat the stuff that's around you. Listen, ain't no sense in you getting all excited about the word if none of this good preaching ever gets inside you. I know I'm preaching good on a Sunday morning, but there are some who will leave here the same way they came because the word was around you, but it never got in you. I mean, if it does not convict you to change, if it does not permeate the very core of your being, the word has got to get in you so you can fight this stuff around you. Does anybody here know greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world? That means temptation ain't going nowhere. That's going to be around you. That pull from the world ain't going nowhere. That club ain't going nowhere. The ABC store ain't going nowhere. That old flame ain't going nowhere. That temptation to go off on somebody ain't going nowhere. That urge to cuss somebody ain't going nowhere. But the reason I can resist what's around me is because I got the Holy Ghost in me. Does anybody here know you got something in you this morning? It ain't because my environment has changed. It's because I changed in spite of my environment. Whenever I go around to schools, most likely elementary and middle schools, I usually tell children about the difference between a carrot, an egg, and a coffee bean. See, when you put a carrot in boiling water, the carrot gets soft and it becomes susceptible to its environment. When you put an egg in boiling water, it's hard on the outside. But if that shell is soft on the inside because it became susceptible to its environment. But a coffee bean, when a coffee bean gets in hot water, he says, I ain't gonna let my environment change me. I'm gonna change my environment. I'm gonna dissolve and I'm gonna change this thing. I am not a thermometer. I am a thermostat. That means I change the weather in my environment. That means I don't stick myself in that job and let the job take me up or down. The devil is a liar. I am a thermostat. If I want it to be cold today, I'll cool it off. If I want to heat things up, I'll bring my heat with me. I wish I had about 72 people in here this morning that know how to be a coffee bean. You got to spread the love of Jesus. The reason why spiritual warfare is so critical is because the enemy's objective is to drag you back to your old ways. Can I get you to be honest and admit it's easy to go back? And it don't take much to get us there. But that's his objective, because there are some things and some people, there are some habits, there are some ways that you swore off a long time ago. I ain't doing it no more. I ain't going back there no more. I'm done with it. I'm through with it. But as long as those things are available, there's always a chance you're going to go back. Let me see if I can put it where you can get it. Think about an outfit. Think about a suit or dress or pair of breeches, if you will, that you ain't worn in a while. It's one thing to take it off. But if it's still hanging in the closet, there's a chance, if you can fit it, that you'll wear it again. Does that make sense? What Paul is trying to tell us is, it's not only right for you to pull off your old ways, but he said you got to purge it completely out of your spiritual wardrobe. In other words, don't even leave it in the closet, because if it's in the closet, you'll still go put it back on. Some of you got your switchblades just in case. Some of you are carrying just in case. You keep those words handy just in case. God said, get it out of your closet. Because for some of us, that old outfit was comfortable. That was your go-get-em dress. You were comfortable in that thing. But even if it fit like I want it to fit, God expects me not only to pull off, but put out. Also important for you to know, and I sort of hinted at this on Thursday, this whole purging thing is not a one-time deal. Verse 23 says you got to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. That means on a daily basis, you need a refresh. On a daily basis, you need a reboot. On a daily, I need him to create in me a clean heart and renew, refresh, reboot the right spirit within me. Sometimes it's not your hardware, it's your software. You got to ask God to reboot. You got to ask him to refresh. Anybody here need God every now and then to search your system, search your software, look at you from the inside out, and if it's necessary, Lord, refresh me. My browser's a little bit slow. I was just in church 3 days ago, but I showed up this morning so I can get my reboot. I wish I had some help here. I need God to restore me every day. I need him to keep my mind every day. I need him to order my steps every day, guide my feet every day, hold my hand every day, bridle my tongue every day. Keep sitting there here. Renew my spirit every day. Clean out my system every day. Restore my mind every day. Keep my motives pure every day, because all of us are subject to spiritual attack. Tell your neighbor, it can happen to you. Eric, I used to think that the devil will attack between services. But now, because I've been around long enough now, I know he'll attack during service. I mean, you can be in the house of God trying to get your praise in, and then all of a sudden the world and the worries will creep up in your mind. Here I'm listening to the choir tell me that I gotta be right and I want to be right, and then all the wrong stuff pops in my head. Here they are telling me that the Lord will make a way somehow, but now my mind is questioning how I'm gonna make it. How am I going to get through this month? How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to pass this class? How am I going to deal with this? How things going to turn out? My family, my health, my money, my friendship, my worry has hindered my worship. Can I hurry to tell you, be careful about letting your worry stop you from worshiping. There's certain things you got to learn how to believe with God when you walk in here. I may have brought my problems in here, but my songwriter asked me, is your all on the altar? I got to learn how to take my burdens to the Lord and leave it there, because worry should never hinder me from worshiping. So then, how do I get my mind right? Short answer is you can't get your mind right. Only God can help us navigate through this battleground. But what we can do, and here's where I'm going to hang my hat for just a moment, what we can do is make sure that we're not providing the enemy with ammunition. If you didn't shout on Be Right, you ain't going to shout for the next 10 minutes. I said what we can do is make sure that we're not giving ammunition to the enemy. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the times when we, not the devil, were our own worst enemy. He says, put away lying. Tell yourself the truth. Even when you say in your prayers, before you make a request, you need to confess. We start using God as if he's our errand boy. Want to send him there and ask him to go pick this up for us on the way home. We want this blessing and that. Before you make a request, you need to confess. The old song says, it's me. I wish I had some help here. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my mother. Not my father, not my friends, not those church folk. It's me standing in the need of prayer. It's me that lied. Come on, talk to me here. It's me that was raggedy. It's me that sinned. It's me that stole. It's me that gossiped. It's me that was messy. It's me that was mean. You don't get God's mercy until you own up to your mess. Got to get rid of this victim mentality that says somebody owes you something and the whole world has been against you. That's why you had to be a loner. No, you're a loner because you alienated everybody that wanted to be around you. I'm here to tell you, folk can't take but so much of that stuff. Folk ain't got but so many layers of skin before you get up under the last one. Ain't too many more times you gonna mistreat me and then try to hug me on Sunday. Ain't too many more times you gonna throw dirt on my name and then be trying to shake my hand. I love you, but don't test me here. I'm a Christian, but you cannot get God's mercy until you own your mess. I move on because you don't like that. Not only should you tell yourself the truth, but Paul says we got to tell each other the truth because we are part of the same body. Listen, this will help you. There is a way to tell people what they need to hear without using a spirit of negativity. I'm telling you, there is a way to speak truth without being trifling. You can be honest without being honorary. That's a word. I like that word. And there is a way to be blunt, but at the same time, you don't have to be belligerent. I told them. What? Did you have to tell them that way? The Bible says that you got to speak the truth in love. Part of getting your mind right is asking the Lord to remove the anger before you open your mouth. You know how we can be sometimes. We can cut, we can cuss with just one word out of our mouth. And we ain't just got, those words in the clip. We got it in the chamber. That thing is ready. Ain't no time to be clicking and cocking. No, we got that thing ready to shoot off at any moment. And we got a hair trigger. And I'm here to tell you, it may make you feel good in the short term, but no child of God should be bragging about the fact that you cuss somebody out. I mean, I've heard it in Christian conversation. I told him, I cussed him out, I gave him a piece of my mind. The problem with giving folk a piece of your mind is that by the end of the day, you ain't gonna have no mind left because your piece is all over the place. He says, be angry. It happens. Have I got a witness here? Be angry, but sin not. In other words, there's a way to be frustrated without compromising your faith. We all get mad. We all got buttons. We all got stuff that gets us irritated. But no matter what you get confronted with, you cannot allow those forces to frustrate your faith. Do you know how much energy it takes to stay angry? Get angry, you can't control. But stay angry, that is under your control. Do you know how heavy that stuff weighs on your mind? Do you know how heavy that is on your spirit? I think if you knew it, you wouldn't hold on to grudges as long as you do, because grudges weigh a whole lot. I don't normally watch him, but it's like when Dr. Oz puts this scanner on people's body fat. I just happened to be scrolling by him one day because I don't watch it, whatever, because I get convicted when he starts talking about salt and butter and all that other stuff. I get convicted, so I turn from Dr. Oz real quick. But he puts this scanner on people's body fat, and you got one picture, Marlisha, that says what you ought to look like. And then they show you this big green glob of fat. And it's all that extra stuff that ain't got no business on a healthy body. Don't you know anger is the same way? It weighs on you. It affects your health. You can't eat when you're mad. You can't sleep when you're mad. It affects your short term and your long term. You can't hardly get out of bed in the morning. You can't celebrate. You can't laugh. Ain't nothing funny to you. And you get mad when other folk laugh. You can see three people over in the corner laughing and you think they talking about you. Why y'all stop laughing when I came over here? Y'all talking about me? You got something to say about me? Say it to my face. We wasn't talking about you. That's That's a person that is spiritually weighed down. Not only are you not happy, but you don't want other folk to be happy. Tell your neighbor, that doesn't look good on you. That doesn't look good on you. That's why Paul says, I'm preaching pretty good this morning. That's why Paul says, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Because I'm telling you, some stuff ain't worth the baggy eyes and the gray hair. You know, some stuff is just not worth losing sleep over at night. In other words, don't let the petty drive up your pressure. Don't let the minuscule crowd up your mental space. Don't let the junk steal your joy. And don't let the enemy rent space in your life. Tell your neighbor, shut up that fuss. Can I get a witness here? I gotta speak the words of God so it can be a blessing to somebody else. Because when I come to the house of God, I ain't come for no foolishness. When I come to the house of the Lord, I didn't come to hear who like who walked who to the car, who sleeping with who fell out with who don't like who don't do who. The only thing that I want to hear is about the Lord. Great day, the Lord and his goodness. Find one more neighbor. You ain't gotta touch him if you don't want to, but just look at your neighbor and tell him, I came to get my praise on. I came to hear the gospel. I came to get my shout on. I came to get my praise on. Keep the mess out of my ministry. Keep the chaos out of my choir. Keep the devil out of my deacons. Keep the meddling out of my missionaries. Keep the ugly off my usher boy. Keep the hell out of this house. He'll keep you in perfect peace if you keep your mind stayed on the Lord. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on the Lord. He picked me up, turned me around, placed my feet on solid ground. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Say yes! He will.